But I do have some questions for you, Matt. We've still got a little bit of time left. So just in your opinion, what would you say is the most memorable speech that sticks out for you? Perhaps something that you personally resonate with, or something that's really stuck with you?
It's difficult to give an original answer to this, I think, because
I'd want to start with.
Yeah, because we start, because as I said at the end there, you know, the speeches that really sort of ring through the ages, there aren't that many of them. But the one for me, the one that inspired me, you know, as a teenager, from the moment I first heard it replayed, was the Martin Luther King speech. And I don't think if you watch that and listen to it that anybody would ever tire of listening to that many times. And the fascinating story behind the speech as well. It's, you know, it's a speech of two halves, and we cover this in the full day course. The first half of the speech was a very carefully scripted speech that was written for him by his speechwriter, and that relied on one big metaphor: the idea of a bad check, that African Americans had been given a bad check and they had come to Washington to claim their right as citizens. And that's the part of the speech that people sort of forget, even though it's beautifully crafted, because what happens next, the "I have a dream" section of the speech, is actually ad-libbed. You know, that is part of the speech that he would give on the stump in the South. And they thought, going to Washington, his team, that people had used that so much and heard it so much that actually they needed this different, tightly scripted speech to make an impact. But yeah, ended up ad-libbing that bit. Now, just before he starts that, his speechwriter apparently turned to the person stood next to him, saw Martin Luther King Jr. put his script down to one side and look up to the crowd, and he turned to his companion and said, "We're about to go to church." And that, you know, that's what happened next. You know, he went into full preacher mode, and it was yeah, I don't think it's ever been surpassed in anything that I've seen or heard since.
Brilliant, thank you.